Hello everyone, and welcome to this edition of Stray Thoughts, where I am NantenJex, and I'm alone here, just going to give my thoughts about something that I got to go and do recently at the Nintendo headquarters in the UK. I was allowed to come in and play about an hour and a half of Super Mario Odyssey, including some brand new levels, some of which were the ones just recently revealed in the Nintendo Direct. So I wanted to give my thoughts and this little preview of what I saw in the game, what you might want to expect, and my overall impressions of it now that I've done it. So yeah, this is kind of, unscripted, this is all just off the cuff, and I want to make sure I cover a bit of everything, so why don't we start from the beginning. I got to play 3 levels in total. I got to do the Cap Kingdom, the Luncheon Kingdom, and the Seaside Kingdom. And the Seaside Kingdom was the new one that they revealed during the Direct. The Cap Kingdom is that black and white one that we've seen in a few trailers before. And the Luncheon Kingdom is obviously the really weird pixel food one with all the forks and stuff around. So let's start with the Cap Kingdom, which is the first kingdom that you obviously visit in the game because it's where you meet Cappy, and it shows you all that. And it's a very simple kingdom. There's only like one proper objective there, and that is to climb the tower and beat the boss at the top. Like, that's basically it. This is a tutorial level. There are a bunch of Cappy and other Cappy-like people, everything like the birds have hats and stuff like that. And the game just teaches you all the main mechanics. You can become a frog and jump around, which is quite funny. Like, the benefit of the frogs is that they're lightweight, so they can jump on blocks on water without it sinking. And they can jump ridiculously high, so you need it to scale the tower. And they don't have any sort of attacking, but it's fine because there aren't any enemies in the Cap Kingdom until you get to the boss at the top, who essentially acts as the combat tutorial. It's a pretty easy level. There are a lot of broken ships around, which are all based on Mario's ship. You find out that Bowser came and kidnapped Tiara, Cappy's sister, and just completely decimated everyone else's home in the Cap Kingdom, which is like crazy. So they're all sort of suffering from that, and it's kind of the driving motivation for why Cappy teams up with Mario. And it just teaches you all the game's basics. You can explore a bit, find some coins hidden in some like behind the scenes areas, but none of it's particularly needed. And I managed to, I had half an hour to play that level, and I managed to beat it in a good 15 minutes. And then run around and explore the rest of it. It's fine for a tutorial level, about just a bit longer than probably the one in Galaxy. So let's move on to the Luncheon Kingdom. That was the next one that I got to do. And the Luncheon Kingdom is more full-formed. It's massive pink, soupy volcano type thing. With the main mission of that level being there's a giant bird on top. And I think this is a good point to talk into mission structure that I noticed. And I noticed this when I played the E3 demo as well back in Hyper Japan. Essentially, the game allows you for free movement to get any sort of moon you want in almost any order, like the old Mario games. But it will give you specific moons that allow you to progress when you get them. So, for example, in the Luncheon Kingdom, the first moon I had to get was to investigate those rabid creatures that are helping Bowser, the Broodals, I believe they're called. And so you have to progress a bit until you find one, and then you fight it as a boss. And only once you beat that boss and get that moon, does the path then open, allowing you to get to the next part of the level. And it gives you the next moon, and once you get that moon, then the path opens up and unlocks more of the level. And I noticed this is the same thing with the desert level as well, when I played it at Hyper Japan. There are certain story-specific moons that once you get, open up other things. But there's usually only about 4, maybe 5 of these in a level. And then you've done that level-specific story. And when you saw at the Nintendo Direct and the Summer Like Game Explains analysis and stuff like that there can be up to like 69 moons in a level. At least for the Desert Kingdom, that's how many there are. So if you think that only 4 or 5 are actually story-focused, then that means that you've got a ridiculous amount of moons left to just discover on your own. And that was the case here. I discovered the female Goomba moon before I'd found the Broodal one, which the female Goomba she wasn't in the Cap Kingdom obviously, but she was both in the Seaside and Lunch Kingdom, and she's shown in the Wooden Kingdom in the direct. So I think she's almost in every level that Goombas are in. And the way you get that moon is you just have to pile the right number of Goombas on top of each other so that you can reach the platform she's on. And then she gets you a moon. If you try going near her with anything else, Mario or even another transformation, she'll flee. So that's just a simple puzzle that you need to do that I think is going to be more recurring. So the Luncheon Kingdom was quite fun. It's, lava based essentially. It's essentially the lava world. You get the flame, whatever they're called, the lava bubbles, the podopods, I think. You become one of them and it allows you to swim around the level a lot, and you'll be doing that a lot to access secret areas and climb up waterfalls and all that sort of jazz. So that's a big part of it, and obviously getting the food. There are jelly beans you can kick around. There's one guy who asks for turnips for his pots. You have to get the chef outfit at one point to enter a secret room. There's the slot machine. I quite like the Food Kingdom. It's where you get to play as the Hammer Bros as well, that throw frying pans, and they can destroy special cheese blocks. And you get to see the Hammer Brothers' hair, and it's a lot like Iggy's but smaller, like a sort of carrot top type thing going on. So that was fun, and I got to see some really cool new costumes. Like we saw in the trailer, there's the Dr. Mario one and the Mario Paint one, but you also get one based on his Famicom Grand Prix appearance, and you can also get a pirate outfit. And obviously you all saw Underwear Mario. That's the one I went for. Underwear Mario. It's the most expensive costume. And I bought it. And I also bought a chef's hat, so I'm like an American barbecue dad Mario. Which was amusing. But I'm quite looking forward to the other sort of costumes you can get in this game. Like, they're clearly going out of their way to get as much of Mario's past appearances as possible. It's a shame that I don't think... some costumes you saw, like if you're wearing the gangster costume and you go 2D, it changes that, but it didn't do it for Underwear Mario Chef Hat. I wonder if, in order to activate that, you have to have the full actual set. So if I had the full chef costume and I went into a 2D level, it would be 2D Chef Mario as well. Like, I'm wondering if that's how that works. Because it'll be a bit sad if only some costumes give you special 2D appearances and others don't, but I guess we'll have to find out when the full game comes out. So yeah, I got to run around that. The main story of Luncheon Kingdom is that there's this giant... The Broodals have come to get some fantastic soup, or stew even, from the kingdom for Bowser's wedding. And there's this giant bird on top of the volcano that's making the stew. And you have to get up there to get rid of it, and part of the solution is to turn yourself into a piece of meat, so that the bird comes and picks you up and flies you up there. And then you turn back at the last minute. There are some cool little secrets as well in the Luncheon Kingdom. The Luncheon Kingdom is where I found one of the paintings that you saw in the direct. It was like a painting with New Donk City on it in the direct. And essentially what these are is they're just special stars. So you might say, for example, I don't know if this is the case because I didn't bother using the painting because I wanted to explore a bit more. But from what I understand from other people, it's you... Say you're in New Donk City and you see off in the distance there is a star, or a moon, sorry, and you can't get that moon, and you're like, how can I reach it? It might have been in one of Game Explain's analysis. They pointed out there's an island miles off with a moon on it, wondering how you get there. Well, this is it. You jump through the painting and it takes you back to a previous world you've already been to. So like for the desert one, it's New Donk City. So you jump through the desert level, it takes you to New Donk City, and you can get that moon that way. So it allows the worlds to feel more connected, and it's a nice little throwback to Super Mario 64 as well. So that's how those paintings work. And I feel like that I can talk about that because it was in the Nintendo Direct. And that's there's a lot of I'm going to have my progress up on the screen, but because I took a lot of pictures, as you've been seeing. But I got about, in 30 minutes of playing the Luncheon Kingdom, about 15, 16 moons. So I progressed quite nicely. But if I was going at that rate and say there's about as many moons as there are in this kingdom as in the Desert Kingdom, in about 2 hours I could complete the whole kingdom. And I mean, even in the Seaside Kingdom I got even more moons, which is probably a good time to segue into that. The Seaside Kingdom was very fun. It's a water level on a beach. I'm trying to think of any level I could compare it to. I want to compare it to the one in Mario Sunshine with the giant eel boss, because a lot of that was a big body of water in the middle, but you did a lot of stuff on the outside, climbing up the cliff face and stuff like that. And I think it's better than that level, at the very least. But a big part of that level is that there's a giant octopus king who is drinking all the soda water because it's a fizzy ocean. And Bowser got there to steal all the bubbly water for his wedding. And now this giant octopus is drinking all the soda, which is ruining the place and making all the locals, these weird snail people, upset. So Mario has to turn on the 4 fountains in order to knock the octopus guy off. And it's really fun. You get to knock him off, and then you get to actually battle him around the whole level as he's running around the level attacking you. So he uses everything that you've learned up to that point in exploring to fight him with, and it's cool. And part of that is these little octopus monsters, which are surrounded in bubbles of water, that you can take over and then shoot jet propulsions out. So you can fire yourself up into the air, and it works both ways. You can go horizontally and vertically, but doing both at the same time makes you go diagonally. And you can basically just fly around the level like this, which is great. It was really, really useful for getting around, and it's really fun to do as well. And you need to do it. You have to really understand it to get one of the moons later on. There's a Captain Toad moon that's really high up, and the only way you can reach that is by using this jet propulsion thing. And I won't spoil how to do it exactly, but it requires a lot of timing and getting the right sort of feel down for that creature. So I like that they introduce something and get you slowly learning how to do it, and then give you a proper challenge with it at the end. I also found out some other areas in that level. There's the giant eels are back, and they're terrifying. They're even more terrifying this time. They're like fairly realistic looking eels. Unlike, Mario 64 and New Super Mario Bros., where they're a bit more cartoon. These feel more like the T-Rex, the realistic T-Rex, giant realistic eels, which try and eat you up when you're regular Mario or Cheap Mario, which is Cheap Mario allows you to swim a lot faster and you don't have to worry about oxygen. But I found there's a section where you have to throw Cappy on a scarecrow, and then you essentially lose your cat powers, and you just have to travel as Mario normally doing something, which I guess are kind of like the areas where you lose Flood in Sunshine, except it doesn't take you to some weird parallel world. They're all context-sensitive areas. And the only one I got to do is you're just underwater and try. Basically, it's a way of giving you an underwater challenge without being a cheap, which is fine. And but I'm wondering what other ones they're going to have. Like, obviously, losing the cat means you can't transform, so maybe we'll get some proper platforming challenges where you have to wall jump your way up the side of the building. There's also a volleyball game on the beach, which I did. Once you get 15 hits, you get a moon. You might get another moon if you get further, but I got a bit bored of it, to be honest, so I stopped playing. There's a lizard, the one that you saw in the Nintendo Direct that Mario is flying around. That's pretty fun. And there are these special flowers which just shoot Mario off, kind of like he's got the one of the flood forms from Sunshine, the second one. I think what they're doing is they're taking the transformation mechanic's great because it allows for so many different gameplay options. I think they're taking the best of all the previous Mario games and implementing them here, so that Mario's got like a ton of options available for him to use when he gets around. That's really exciting because it allows for some really cool level ideas. And I'm looking forward to what other transformations they can get. So other cool things that you can do. There's the dog. I think you all saw it, but the dog shows up once you beat the boss, and you can throw your hat like a frisbee and it catches it. It's like, reusing all that old Nintendo dog data to good use. And the hat shop on that level is a Dory from Super Mario 64. There's a yellow and a purple one, and they just kind of... The yellow one's static, but the purple one moves around the level, and that's cute. There's I quite like I like the Seaside Kingdom. The Toad is there, the Goomba is there even, and like I said, Captain Toad and Uncle Amiibo shows up. I think Uncle Amiibo and the Blue Toad, the Hint Toad, only show up after you've done the main mission of that level. So the main mission of the Seaside Kingdom was to beat the giant octopus, and then you get like a nice little cutscene, and then they tell you to basically keep looking for moons until you hit that threshold, which I think is 16 in that level. I got about 20-something moons in the 30 minutes I was playing that level. So I managed to get them all a lot quicker. But this was like the third level I'd played. I'd gotten used to all the controls, rolling around at the speed of sound, and making use of all of Mario's maneuverability, which is... He has a lot of options in this game, and it's very fun to use. So, I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, that's it. The photo op. So the photo, they showed off here the thing that allows you to make phone paper, like wallpapers and stuff like that. That is really fun because it gives you a ton of freedom. You can move around at certain angles. Like you can rotate everything. You can slap the logo on there. There's a ton of different filters. There's a Game Boy filter. There's an NES filter and an SNES filter. Game Boy filter's really cool. I'll throw some of them on. But you can really set things up. Like I found myself getting Mario into situations where he was bound to get injured, but just so I could take that right snapshot and get something more exciting done. It was good. It's actually really fun, and you can set up some really visually pleasing images just by messing around with this. It's kind of like they've taken what the stuff that was in Miiverse and been trying, like they've implemented the drawing in Splatoon 2, and this is kind of like they're taking the snapshotting that was present in Zelda and that people could use in Miiverse when they were, trying to capture their moments, and fully fleshing it out here. And you can presumably send it to Twitter or Facebook or whatever, show it to friends. Yeah, I think it's a very, very cool little addition. Although I did find myself, because you only need to activate it by pressing down on the D-pad, and I kept doing that by mistake. Like I kept pressing down, by like finger slipping and pausing everything to activate this camera mode. It might just be something I need to get used to. Maybe there's an option where I can change the button required. I'm gonna have to wait and see. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else very specifically. This game has definitely made me really hyped. I want to play more levels. I want to see how levels connect together. After watching the Nintendo Direct, like I really want to go and do New Donk City and try and get to that Donkey Kong section they showed off. To get to, I want to see what the Snow Kingdom's like. That one's a bit weird in the Direct. Like, it doesn't look very interesting to me because it looks like just like plain blizzards. But I'm hoping the penguins are the main citizens of that area because I like penguins. That'd be cool. But yeah, the game comes out in a month now. Wow, it's actually really close. Shame I won't be the one reviewing the game for the site if we get it, but I am definitely getting it day one as early as physically possible, and I'll probably just sit down and try and get all 600 moons as over the course of a weekend, probably. I think I'm going to be that invested into this game. And yeah, I think that's everything. I want to thank Nintendo UK for letting me come and play this game. It was a real blast going to their offices and meeting people and just getting my hands on Super Mario. And like, guys, this is probably going to be like one of the best Mario games in a while. It's definitely better than 3D World and 3D Land. I think I'm going to enjoy this a lot more than Sunshine as well. Like, I think this is the true 3D Mario game that people have been waiting for since 64. Like a proper open sandbox Mario. And I just hope that Nintendo have left some surprises for us in the because I don't want that recent Nintendo Direct to have revealed everything already. Like, that would be a bit of a shame. But yeah, let me know in the comments below how excited you are for this game, because I know you're all excited for this game. So tell me if you're going to get it day one, if you're going to have to wait till Christmas or your birthdays. Share this video if you liked it. Let other people know about this new information from Mario Odyssey, about my time with it. Give us a like, subscribe to Source Gaming if you haven't. If you want to drop me a question, if you have any other questions about Super Mario Odyssey, stuff that I might not have covered here but I might know, then feel free to send me a message on Twitter at Mr. Nintendo or at AllSourceGaming. At Mr. Nintendo is probably the better one, but I might get it either way. Or you can come hang out in our Discord. Just ask for the invite on Twitter and we can send it to you. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this game and I hope you all are as well. So remember to always return to the source, and I will catch you all next time.